Gaming is often associated with unhealthy people sitting around eating junk food and wasting their lives. But we're trying to change that. We're trying to redefine the culture for gaming to be healthy. More and more people are playing games competitively now, and they're starting to realize something, which I want to stress as much as possible. If you want to play at a high level for a long time, you need to look after your health. That means don't think short term. Don't get addicted to energy drinks, junk food, coffee, or play 12 hours a day, sacrificing sleep, exercise, study, career, and socializing. Think long term. Find a healthy balance for your gaming. Build healthy habits. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a health professional. Do not rely on me as a source of health, exercise, and diet facts or whatever. But I have been gaming for over 30 years and I think I'm doing pretty well. Not an Adonis, but I live a healthy life. I gave up eating processed sugar over 10 years ago now. I'll leave a video link in the description if you want to know how I did that. Also touches on what I eat, like salads. I play basketball just casually at local courts. I go on nature walks with heavy camera gear. And I bodyboard and surf. So let's say ride waves. I also don't drink, smoke, or touch drugs. I don't even use painkillers or coffee. A lot of those are just adding inconsistencies to your life. Inconsistency is bad, and those things potentially cause damage. Even if you think you play better with them, in my opinion, you're better off finding another way. And we should aim for consistency. So even on an off day, we still play fairly well. With this video, I'm just hoping to help some of you at least get started with this stuff, so you can start thinking about it and doing your own research, and hopefully make some positive changes too. The human brain has all kinds of urges and ideas. We really need to learn self-control. Just because you feel like it, doesn't mean you should do it. Please remember that. Think it through. What's going to be best for you when you're 50, 60, or even 80? Because that's most likely what's best for you now too. Build good habits as soon as possible. Don't make excuses, don't be lazy, don't be weak, and don't rely on things like New Year's resolutions. Every day is a good day to start. Every moment is a good moment to start. In fact, right now, if you're healthy enough, do some push-ups. Just get up and do something. Make it a habit to randomly exercise. Every time you think of it, make it a part of your psyche, because being fit, strong, and healthy is going to help you think clearer, feel better, and play at your best. You can overdo things, including gaming. I found I was at my best when I played about 4 hours a day, 5 days per week. If I played more, I started to lose interest and even hate playing. We could argue about whether playing 10 hours a day is going to make you your best, but I think it's irrelevant. The way I look at it, nothing is worth your health. Without your health, you have nothing. So always put your health first where you can. Obviously, we all make sacrifices for our jobs and other things, to make sure we have enough to survive. But generally speaking, health should be number one. So I hope you can get started on that. Let's talk posture. Now, sitting position, you notice my head is slightly forward. That's because I'm talking. Generally when I'm playing, I'd probably have my head back, just in the chair like this. I used to use the neck support, but I think that pushes your neck forward. I don't think that's too good for your posture. So I've tried to just sort of be without it. It's not as comfortable, but I think it's going to be better in the long run. Again, I'm not a health expert. Don't listen to me too much. But at least you can get started with this. That's what I'm hoping. And that's why I'm going to talk about my grip and the way that I aim now too. So 4 main parts. You notice the elbow is rested on the back of the table. See that bone there? There's the elbow. So just in between there, I just sort of lodge it. Feels pretty good, and that allows me to anchor it just as I do the swipes left and right. And if I need to do a big swipe, of course I release it and go. So we have arm aiming like this when you have to do the massive swipes. But for the medium swipes, you just go like this. So it's just anchored with the elbow. You can still do a little bit of movement there. For the small swipes, I'm just using my wrist. And then for the micro adjustments, I'm just using my fingers. And I switch between claw and fingertip because that's what happens. Like so. Generally though, I'm using a relaxed fingertip grip, or that's what I call it anyway. So it's not like full on crazy upright position or anything. It is just sort of relaxed. I come from palm grip, so I think that's why my fingers just sort of naturally want to go like this. You just find the grip that suits you, but I do recommend either claw or fingertip, just so you get that micro adjustment level forward and back there, and even a little bit side to side. But that's when the wrist comes into it, so. Anyway, the thing I wanted to touch on with this was that I see people with their arm always raised. I think that's going to cause problems later. You're relying on too many muscle groups and maybe even tendons and ligaments and whatever else. I think it is better to be as rested as possible, especially when playing long periods. You want to make sure you do have your elbow anchored for as long as possible. Only move it when you have to do that massive swipe, massive flick, or whatever else. The other thing you may have noticed, I'm wearing a sports sleeve while playing. It is summer in Australia and any sweat will cause too much friction and prevent you from aiming properly. So to allow perfect glide still, I've got the sports sleeve on, and I must say it's working amazingly. Definitely check them out. I don't know which brands are good or bad. I just ordered some random ones off eBay, I think it was, and this has been working an absolute treat. I love playing with these now. Winter, not so bad because you have a jacket on, that kind of prevents the friction. But on a desk, glossy, or actually any material, there's always going to be some sweat causing friction, and that goes for chairs as well. Definitely look into these if you have an issue with sweat and you want to rest your arm. If you're not resting your arm, as I said, I do recommend resting your arm, so these are the better way of going about that, in my opinion. And the keyboard arm, same principle, well rested, at the elbow, can play for hours, not an issue at all. And I think that's it for this setup. Unnecessary flex. If I'm using a straight desk, basically the same principles, but instead of on the desk, I use the armrests of the chairs, which are pretty much desk level, maybe just a bit under, and I try to get as close as possible. Again, I use the sleeve to avoid friction. I can move forward and back, side to side, no problem. And I haven't noticed any difference in playing ability, but it does take time to get used to new setups. So if you're going pro or something, just try to recreate those conditions. You want to get used to playing a certain way. Or if you can be versatile and use multiple setups, do that. I've been trying to correct my posture for years. I'm definitely getting better, but still not perfect. Basically, you want to stay as upright as possible, don't slouch, and don't lean forward. That applies to walking around too, which you should do every 30 minutes. Just get up and move around, don't just sit gaming for hours and hours and hours. Being human isn't easy, it's a huge challenge, but it's fun becoming the best we can be. So see how much you can improve every day. Just set some goals, see what you can do. Most of us have thought about becoming healthier, so why not find out what happens? Finally answer that question, what if? What if you were fit? What if you were healthy? Let's see what happens. So the key points here are to make your health a focus, sit and stand up straight, correct your posture, be conscious of it and form good habits. Try to stay as rested as possible while gaming, and use your arm, elbow, wrist and fingers to help control your mouse. Get used to multiple desk setups if you need to, or just focus on one kind you can use everywhere. Hope that helps for now. Usual links in the description if you want to help support the channel. And as always, subscribe, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next. Okay, I think I'm stuck. Come on, one more. No. Whoops. Couldn't be done. Either way, I think I got to 12, almost 13. I think my record is like 14, so it's doing all right. And I was just hanging on earlier, so it's hard.